I want to welcome everybody back to Organic Living and Kitchen. Today, I'm super excited to show you how I make my homemade stewed tomatoes. I especially love canning stewed tomatoes because I will be using them for a variety of different dishes. I like to make chili, spaghetti sauce, borsh, lasagna, lentil soup, and many other recipes using my stewed tomatoes. Not only are we making the tomatoes, we're also going to be canning them or preserving them for the winter. My stewed tomatoes are going to have an amazing texture, color, smell, and most important, taste. I will be using minimal amount of ingredients. We want to keep this very natural and healthy. I also want to say thank you for clicking that subscribe button below the video. I enjoy bringing new recipes to you as much as I can. Also, I would love to hear your comments in the section below, and also if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Again, we're heading back to the garden to pick some nice, fresh, homegrown tomatoes. I will be using all forms of tomatoes, colors, shapes, and sizes. Unfortunately, my cherry tomatoes won't work since they are simply too small, but you can use cherry tomatoes to make tomato sauce. Please don't forget to check out that video. My tomatoes have been picked. That was the hardest part about canning tomatoes. Now I will place my tomatoes under running cold water. I will wash them and I will rinse them. I want my tomatoes to be super squeaky clean. Once my tomatoes are clean, I will go ahead and place them into boiling hot water. We're going to keep them for approximately 45 seconds to a minute. If your tomatoes have bad spots, go ahead and cut them off before placing it into your boiling water. About a minute has passed. Your tomatoes are going to have a crack. Go ahead and remove them into a separate bowl. And repeat this process till all your tomatoes have been through the hot boiling water. Our tomatoes now are ready for peeling. You're going to just gently take off the top skin of each tomato. Place your tomato into a separate bowl. Go ahead and repeat this process till you have peeled all your tomatoes. Yes, this is time consuming, but you simply don't want to have skin in your tomato stew. Our tomatoes are peeled. We'll go ahead and place them on the cutting board. Use a knife and dice them into about 1/2 inch pieces. You're welcome to use smaller or larger pieces as you wish. I will also remove the back end of the tomatoes. I don't want them in my stew. Your diced tomatoes are going to go into a strainer. We want to get rid of extra liquid, otherwise our tomato stew will be extremely watery. My tomatoes have been diced. I'll go ahead and give it another stir in my strainer and get rid of excessive juice. Transfer your tomatoes into a cooking pot. After dicing and straining all the tomatoes, go ahead and place your pot onto a cooking stove and start cooking at a medium to low heat. Go ahead and stir your tomatoes so they don't stick to the bottom. I will cover my tomatoes with a lid till they start to simmer. Once they start simmering, I will remove the lid and continue cooking with the lid off till I'm done completely cooking my tomatoes. You're going to continue cooking tomatoes for approximately 30 to 45 minutes, stirring between 3 and 5 minutes, and you're going to see your tomatoes are going to have a little bit of foam, which is very normal. As your tomatoes continue to cook, go ahead and add herbs. You can add any herbs you want. Also, this is a time when we're going to add salt. I will place 1 tablespoon of salt. I will place half a teaspoon of dried basil, half a teaspoon of dried savory, and half a teaspoon of dried sage. Again, you're the boss. You can put whatever spices and herbs you want. All these herbs have been grown in my garden. I simply dehydrated them and saved them for making stew. Continue to mix your stew as it thickens up. Also, I'll be placing some garlic right before the stew is ready to be canned. Here I have peeled and squeezed 10 to 12 cloves of garlic. I will place it into my stew and I will continue to mix. As my stew continues to simmer and slowly cook, I have washed and rinsed my jars and placed them into the oven at 250 degrees. I'm also boiling my spoon I'll be using and my funnel for approximately 10 minutes. My stew has been cooking for approximately 45 minutes. Now it's time to remove the jars from the oven, and I will fill the jars with hot, boiling tomato stew. Go ahead and tighten the lids. Go ahead and repeat this process till you fill all your tomato jars. Once my lids are tight, I normally transfer them onto a blanket or a towel, place them upside down, and cover them until they cool. If you are new to canning and you're worried about your sterilization technique, let's go ahead and do something called a water bath. I have boiling water in the pot. I will place a washcloth or a kitchen towel, and I will place my jars into the water pot. Have the water cover all the jars, and I will boil them for approximately 20 to 25 minutes. Again, this step is not necessary, but it's optional if you feel like you might need it. 25 minutes have passed. It's time to remove the jars from the boiling water. Go ahead and remove them. And I like to place my jars upside down on a towel or a blanket and keep them covered for another 24 hours till they're completely cool. As you can see, I have finished canning my tomato stew. My stew is going to be very fresh and delicious. I will also leave a detailed description below the video in case you forget how to make this stew. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I will be cooking future recipes using some of my stewed tomatoes. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. God bless.